Let's let them in. Wow. Look at all the people. Wow. Fantastic. What an amazingly large group again. You all blow me away every single week. Thank you so much, all of you, for coming. It makes me want to do this every week when I see so many people arrive. Wow, that's over and over again. Okay, so like the most important part of our event is everybody being on mute except for the people that are speaking. I know that's hard because some people join and accidentally push buttons, but if you think that you might be having an open mic, will you please check and make sure it's not you? I would sincerely appreciate it, and so will everybody in our room who wants to listen to those that speak. That said, I do want everybody to speak that would like to speak, and we're going to make a couple of changes to tonight's event that we have not done other than a small experiment last Saturday for the life science event. I did this thing called the lightning round, where I opened up the door to everybody in our community who just wanted a little bit of time in front of everybody to express something about themselves. It doesn't need to be an elevator pitch on your project. It could just be a little bit about who you are. If you are here because you're looking to find a startup to work with, or if you're an investor, or if you are a founder and you have a project, don't go too deep because I want these to be like 60-second quickies. And I just want to give more people a chance to be able to get a little bit of face time in front of the community so that we get to know everybody. And one of the things that I learned last Saturday is we have some of the smartest people in our community. Like there's some just outrageously brilliant people that show up to our events. Many of them we don't even hear from because they're just sitting in the audience or they're connecting through the chat. But I'd like, our community to get to know everybody a little bit better. And I think this might work out. So I'm going to limit the number of pitches that we do from founders to 20. We normally end up with 30 plus, but I'm going to try and limit it to just 20. And for those of you who have pitched in the last 3 weeks, if you can just do your hand raise and wait till we find out if we have some people who are new, who have not pitched in front of us in the last month, that are here that are new. It would be nice if we could at least prioritize those that haven't been in front of us, anytime in the just near, past. And then you can filter in again after we've given everybody a chance. And for the new presenters, the way that you need to get into our queue is go to the reaction button and press the hand raise. So if you haven't done that, try that first. And let's see who are all the newbies or relatively new, haven't been pitching very often at our events before we bring everybody else in. So, okay, thank you all. You're doing great. And I think we have room for one more, which would take us to 20. And that's it. So as of at least now, if everybody else cannot raise their hand, so I don't have to have the unpleasant experience of having one of the people on my team have to hand raise you, and it's not personal. I just want to only do 20 pitches today, and then we will move on to the lightning round. I kind of make it sound like a game show, but it's really just to get more energy and participation from everybody in our community. So we'll experiment with that. A lot of this has been an experiment, actually, as we keep getting bigger and bigger. Wow, 125 plus people in the room already, and we're just getting started. You guys are absolutely amazing, and it keeps growing. All right, so let me mute again. I hear a couple of people in the background that are making a little bit of noise. I have a few announcements. I understand, according to my family, I overtalked on Saturday, so I'm going to make these really short and sweet so we can get to hearing from all of you. Venture starters, we are the people who start ventures. If you're involved in anything that relates to starting a venture, you found the right place to be. We're the right community. We are a networking event. My assistants are in the room, and there are 2 other pictures that have my face on it, and they are helping me make this event possible. Without their help, I wouldn't be able to do it. So just know that. And if you are trying to reach me in the chat, also understand I'm moderating the event. I haven't a moment to even look at the chat, but one of my assistants is monitoring it. And if it looks like the message is coming from me directly, it's coming from her. Just be aware. For those of you who are here and have been here many times, you know that we recommend that you add to your real name after your name, your email address. And the way that you can do that is there's 3 dots on your picture. You can click on those 3 dots. There's something called rename, and then you can add your email address after your name. It may help you with networking purposes for those of you who are here to network. If you're here just to watch and observe, fantastic, you're welcome. You don't have to go ahead and do that. It's just an idea. We have 24 people that have raised hands, so I'm most likely going to be cutting off 4 of you, and I apologize. I will make a priority of putting you first next at our next event if you come back next Wednesday. I just happen to have a need to open the floor up for more people to be involved, so I apologize for that in advance. The way our event works is our founders that pitch, they're supposed to do it in 2 minutes. It's an elevator pitch. There's no slides. 2 minutes goes by really, really fast. So you need to like make a point or two, give people a chance to know what you're doing, but then expect to follow up with all the details in the chat. Those of you who are interested in what you hear from the founders, please reach out to the founders in the chat directly if you want it to be private. But for the rest of you, if you will please cheerlead them on. If somebody is doing a great job, if they're doing something amazing sounding, please in the community chat, cheer them on with a lot of nice things to say. We are trying to be a community where we support each other and that this is a positive event for everybody who attends. The goal of this is basically just to hook people up. So understand that if you haven't opened the chat yet, that's the thing you need to do. But we have one rule, which is be nice. We're not looking to embarrass anybody. If you have technical questions and things that might trip somebody up because you're very, very smart, can you please ask those questions in a private chat and not in front of everybody in public? I just want basically the public chat to be a place where it's mostly all positive if we can do that. We have a new logo, by the way, and I want to just say that my awesome wife helped me create that logo, and thank you to my awesome wife. She helps in a million ways, but getting a logo that was a little bit more refined than what I've been using since we started this event, I so appreciate, and I think we may still change it in the future, but for now, I'm really happy with the new logo. I have a quick shout out to 2 organizations that you might need to be familiar with. One is called Startup Right. Their events are on Thursdays. Ours are on Wednesdays. On Thursdays, Startup Right is more of the pitch that you do with an entire slide deck, and it's a more formal, longer pitch than you do here. I'm an elevator pitch program. So if you're looking to do more of a formal pitch, reach out to Startup Right. There's really nice people there. I've been sitting on their investment panel all year, although I'm going to be taking this month off because I'm just too busy. And I think I've invested more in more of the startups that have actually pitched there than any of the other investors on the panel this year, but there are some amazing investors there, many who can write bigger checks than me. And if you are an investor, they can use a few additional investors on the panel to round that out. Somebody from Startup Right will likely put something in the chat about them so you can communicate with them. There's another organization that does Fridays. So I'm Wednesdays, Startup Right is Thursdays, and on Fridays, you can participate with a group called Go Global World. Luke, who is a co-founder and helped inspire me to create this event, is now a moderator for Go Global World. Go support Luke. He is a great guy. Show up and his organization that he's joining is an outstanding organization too. For everybody here who signed up through LinkedIn and did not make it to our website, please know that the best way to sign up for our events is at the venturestarters.com website. rather than on LinkedIn. We built our community through the LinkedIn event pages, but you don't actually get the Zoom link. It's a little bit more tricky unless we manually do it, and it's a bit of work on our behalf. So the more often you go to the website to get your Zoom link and register, the better for us. Anybody out there want to start a fund that actually knows how to run and start a fund? I'm trying to start a Venture Starters Fund for next year so we can invest in a bunch of these amazingly talented people who come to our event and are part of our community. I'm interviewing now. You really need to know what you're doing. I'm not interested in somebody who's going to learn on the job. So if you actually have expertise in either managing a fund, investing in a fund, if you have security licenses, you know, those are the qualities I'd be very interested in meeting you. So please reach out to me personally so we can get a Zoom meeting going one-on-one. I need to read this to everybody and then we'll get started. Please treat any introductions at this event or through this community with the same level of caution as you would exercise at any other networking events open to the public. Just know I don't know everybody that's here. I did in the beginning. I knew most of the people because it started from my network, but now this thing has taken on a viral life of its own, and I do not know everybody. So I just feel the need to say that. There's probably other things I should have mentioned, but I'm going to cut my remarks short so we can get to the pitches. And I, again, so appreciate everybody. Keep yourself on mute until it's time for you to talk. If a few of you are brave enough to help ask questions of some of the founders that are about to pitch, please join me. It does two things. It helps flesh out a little bit more information about what we just heard from the person pitching, and it gives a few more seconds for those that are interested to actually type a message in the chat if they were listening fully for the entire 2 minutes and then want to connect or arrange to share information or whatever they want to put into the chat. So I'll try and open up that. And for those that there's nobody interested in asking a question and you're a founder, don't be disappointed. Some of the best investors that we have in the room are not going to show their face. They're going to reach out to you directly in the chat because they don't want to be pounced on by every founder that's in this event right now. And they learned their lesson early by experimenting with being more visible in earlier events. So it doesn't mean that people aren't interested in you. Also, if you keep coming back, more people will get comfortable with you, and in this environment people want to invest in people they sort of have a good instinct about and have and are getting to know instead of investing in total strangers. So let's get started. We've got 150 people in the room already. Yay. Okay, so up first is Tamar.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tamar Toledano. I am a service provider, so I'm a trademark attorney with Trademark 360. I assist business owners, startup founders with the legal protection for their intellectual property by registering their trademarks. So I assist business owners throughout the U.S., located anywhere in the U.S., who need assistance to secure their brand and make sure that they are legally protected and that they're not infringing on someone else's brand. So this is an important step in the due diligence process as you're beginning to scale your company. And it's something important to think about early on once you have your brand set in place. So I'm here to assist. And if anyone has any questions, I will leave my information in the chat and I'm happy to discuss with you one-on-one.
Awesome. Thank you for coming. I don't think we'll have questions for you because you're more a service provider, but thank you for joining our community. Up next is John. You're on mute, John.
You have too many Johns on here, Mark.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the gallery version of the hand raises, or if you look in the participant section, you can probably see the order I'm looking at as well.
Mark, did you want to just do other intros first? Because I have an update on what our thing is, but if you wanted to do those one.
No, go ahead. Give us the update because we're emotionally attached to what you're doing and I'd like to hear. Go ahead.
I appreciate it. I haven't been on in a couple of weeks and we now issued our press release, which is the biggest news for us this year. And we released the results of our USC testing. So our product is called Hummingbird. It's an air purification product that protects your whole building, not just a room purifier, but the whole building. It goes in your HVAC system. And the great results we got out of USC's Keck School of Medicine is that we deactivate COVID-19 instantly in the first pass through our system. And we also went back in the lab to prove out that we can deactivate variants, which we proved every variant that we tested, Delta, Omicron, BA2, we deactivated all of them. So that's the great results that we've got, and there's a lot more that we can't talk in this type of format of, you know, our indoor air quality monitor that monitors 8 levels of air quality, the AI that's an EKG for your HVAC system. There's a lot more, so please follow up. I put my information in the chat line, and we're doing a Series A of 8 million. We've got 1.1 million committed. We're reserving a couple million for a strategic investor. And if you're interested, we'll be fully subscribed by December 31st of this year. So please get hold of me because I think we'll be closing this within the next 3 weeks. And there's a lot more to tell you. And I appreciate your the time, Mark, and the opportunity.
Awesome, John. I love the updates that you keep giving us. So kudos. Up next is Breck.
Hey, thanks, Mark. This is a great group. I haven't been here for about a month, and it just keeps growing and growing. So thank you so much for hosting this. Everyone, imagine walking up to your multi-million-dollar home, grabbing a garden hose, breaking out the front window, and squirting water all over your furnishings. You'd never do that, right? But now if that home was on fire, you would. You'd do whatever you could to save it. In fact, you'd call the fire department. They'd bring out their high-pressure hoses and really soak the furniture. It's a little bit like our current healthcare system today, right? We're very grateful to the doctors and to the surgeons who saved the house, but a lot of damage can also happen at the same time. A lot of scar tissue, radiation sickness, etc. Did you know the average prescription medicine has 15 to 20 bad side effects? Prednisone has 150 damaging side effects. So my name is Breck Rice. I'm a healthcare disruptor and a patient advocate. I've been in healthcare for 20 years now, and I get to work with healthcare professionals who are saving lives, helping patients live longer, feel better, most importantly, get better. We're setting up health hubs in rural America, all over the country, in these rural communities, these little health hubs that are taking functional medicine and holistic approach and combining conventional medicines and technologies, complementary, integrative medicine, and even artificial intelligence to repair that house. So one of the technologies that we're providing these little clinics is the very first FDA Class 2 NGX medical device that's actually in clinical studies is shown to extend life. And so we call it FOY, F-O-Y, for the Fountain of Youth. Yes, we found the Fountain of Youth, and we're putting it in community pharmacies all over the country. So my network is pharmacies. I have 20,000 plus of them. Not all of them have clinical space, but those pharmacies that do have space, we're putting these little health hubs in, and we're utilizing, pharmacogenomics and AI and blood markers to actually do preventative. So we can turn the corner in patients' healthcare before it goes into a full-blown disease state. So we're pretty excited about what we're able to accomplish. We are seeking a startup, just an angel startup round of $250K. This will be a convertible note. We have more capacity than the largest retail clinic today, which only can cap out at 10,000 locations. We have 20,000 locations. The largest competitor today has raised over $15 million, and they still only have 1,000 locations out there. And we can do it a lot better than they can because we use community pharmacies. Our community pharmacies have always outperformed the chains, and especially during the pandemic. So love to talk to anyone that is interested, and my information is up in the chat.
Thank you, Breck. I'm actually going to avoid asking if there's follow-up questions because we have so many people who want to pitch. I'm going to just race through everybody. You can meet Breck in the chat. That is where that's where all the action happens anyways. Up next is Warren. Hello.
Hey. So I've got this picture here At Infant Nutrition, we are creating an infant formula with the baby in mind. The United States is in a baby formula shortage right now. The other day I went to Target and I saw the empty shelves in the baby formula aisle. It's actually the FDA is encouraging companies to start producing baby formula products. And it's clear that demand for the product is high on a national level. Making baby formula is actually an easy process. There's very little research that needs to be done, as the FDA has made clear what they want in the product. They've gone through the nutritional label. They've specified the vitamins and minerals they want. So the research has already been done. Baby formula is made with cow's milk. It's a dried product. It's packaged in a type of bottle you could imagine supplements are sold in. Baby formula is like food in that while the product undergoes inspection, it does not require FDA approval. While baby formula is perfectly helpful to families that are taking time away from breastfeeding. The background of this product is that Abbott Labs and other companies were not performing good manufacturing processes prior to production. You may have heard of the Sturgis plant in Michigan, which had 2 issues in a row, and they actually ended up closing down, and they're having a lot of trouble there. So what we're looking to do is to make something that we can do that's very safe and will fill up those shelves that are really lacking right now. Your investment would be helpful in getting infant nutrition development of a formula, transferring into manufacturing, and putting infant nutrition on major retailers' shelves.
All right, that's how much are you looking for, or what did you ask? Did you put that in your pitch yet?
So we're looking to hire a chemical engineer for production. We're looking for a chemist to work on the formula. Right now we're looking for $15,000 of seed money.
Oh, very interesting. Okay, I'm sure there's people that will want to visit you in the chat. Thank you, Warren. Let's move on. Up next is Nathan.
Thanks, Mark. I'll be quick and prompt so that other people have a chance and opportunity to pitch. So if I talk too fast, I apologize. I'm a fast talker already. So hello. Hope everybody's having a wonderful night tonight. I am Nathan DeYoung with Asset Fund, and we help everyday investors with the accessibility and profitability of utilizing private equity. We're currently competing in the crowdsourcing investor market, which is very highly valued in today's market. Cut that a little bit short to save time. We're similar to companies like Fundrise and Arrived Homes, where we operate in purchasing businesses instead of real estate. We've actually developed a rather unique process that allows investors to invest in our platform, where we'll record those transactions through blockchain and use different AI technologies to help those performance and products create the ROI that are needed, where users can invest in those private equity funds for our company. We're currently seeking a $5 million in aggregate with a $1 million convertible bridge debenture pre-seed. And a quick update, and then I'll be done. We're in the midst of reviewing some companies to acquire. So we're in the process of acquiring our first company to start to generate revenue to get our platform built out. And that's all for me, Mark.
Great. Thank you so much for making it short and sweet. And meet Nathan in the chat if you have any interest. Up next is Marwan. Sorry.
Yeah. No worries. It's Arabic name. It's hard to pronounce. So I want you guys to imagine driving in and out of parking lots without reaching for your wallet. Imagine filling up on gas and driving away just like that. Imagine being a business owner and getting notified as soon as a client drives on the premises for curbside pickup. I want you guys to think about that for a second. Those are just a few examples of what Locomobi World is about. A smart city technology company providing an integrated solution for vehicle access, commercial parking management, and security enforcement. We're a step ahead of the game in what we do. We pride ourselves on our cloud portal, WorldStream, the most complete mobility management solution on the market, which connects and speaks to its multiple applications using license plate recognition and AI software. What makes us unique, though, is our ability to generate revenue from multiple streams, including hardware, SaaS, transactional, to the diverse range of products we offer, from parking equipment to mobile apps. Our work can be seen across many verticals, which can be realized through the projects we've undertaken around the GTA, including residential and commercial buildings, hotels, airports, medical centers, you name it. And now we're proud to be undertaking our first full smart city revamp, first of its kind, by the way, to one of Ontario's cities. At the moment, I'm not able to disclose any more information because it hasn't been published to the public yet, but this is something that we hope to be announcing in the next week. Welcome to the future, guys, and thank you for listening.
That's awesome sounding. So glad you came to pitch us, and I hope we
Thank
learn
you.
more from you in the future.
For
We're
sure.
going to move on now to Sebastian, up next.
Hey, Mark. I'm Sebastian, founder of Slab and responsible for technology and product. And it's my first time here at Venture Startup. So thanks, Mark, for having us. I listen certainly on YouTube quite often.
Thank you.
There are over 600,000 games in the mobile app stores, and over 90% of them have been developed and published by small and medium game studios and publishers. These studios struggle to get users into their games, and they fail to capture their share of the ever-growing global $100 billion market. That means that over actually 500,000 games are leaving a lot of money on the table. In fact, it is actually very complex and expensive to publish and distribute your game to the global mobile audience. It requires skill and resources which the majority of game developers and most often even publishers just don't have and can't even afford. Slab completely changes the situation for the first time. We collect vast amounts of data to completely automate the major manual publishing processes for developers. And this enables then the developers and publishers to actually reach their widest audience very quickly and cost effectively with a single click on a button. Currently, we have over 500 customers on our platform and growing by 20% every month. We offer a free basic solution so far to fuel our platform with enough data and to start charging for our advanced features from next month onwards. We have developers lined up to use these features, and we are more than convinced that we'll be able to get to $100 million annual revenue within the next 5 years. So this is a real $1 billion opportunity, guys. Anand, with whom I founded Slab, and I have collected a vast amount of experience in the gaming industry over the last 2 decades, and know exactly how and what it takes to make this happen. We are used to a very lean approach and have been able to build Slab, the platform, and our current traction with just under $250,000 in burn. We are raising a round of $500,000 to continue the development of our platform and to ramp up monetization significantly over the next couple of months. If you can help us, please reach out to us. Our contact details and more information are, of course, in the chat. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mark.
Really neat. And to one of my assistants, please reach out to Sebastian. I would like to see your deck. It sounds very interesting to me. Okay, we're going to move on. Up next is Andrew.
Hi, Mark. Hi, everybody. I'm Andrew Nahr. I'm CEO and founder of MediaX Partners. We're building a unique SaaS platform targeted at the $15 billion fan engagement market in the global sports world. There are 3 main problems that sports organizations are facing right now, and one that's deeper and better engagement on a year-round basis with their fans. They're also trying to get better data on their fans, and they're also looking for new forms of revenue that they can generate throughout the year. So Recody, our platform, gives fans the excitement being able to share their favorite memories in a multimedia story experience back to their favorite teams, athletes, or entertainers. They're also rewarded for their contributions through Recody. The benefit for our clients is that they're getting a plethora of really unique, entertaining content that could be developed into multimedia assets like digital scrapbooks, integrated interactive boards, scoreboards, integrated into broadcast, as well as a variety of Web3 applications. They're also able to understand their fans on a better, more emotional level through the data that they're getting from the stories, as well as opening up a unique level of opportunities on the sponsorship front. We are a monthly subscription going from premium, working with premium global clients all the way down to individual athletes, as well as integration into other products. Our team represents over 100 years in sports and large brands. We've been very fortunate to win a national global sports pitch competition, coming in top 10 with in an innovation pilot program with one of the largest entertainment destination. And then we've also signed a LOI with one of the up and coming NFT ticketing platforms that's working with two of the major sports leagues right now. So we are raising $500,000 in a safe note. So look forward to talking to anybody about what we're doing. So thanks for your time.
Thank you, Andrew. Please meet him in the chat if you're interested. I've actually looked at this one. It's very intriguing. I encourage you to look as well. Up next is Jessica.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. This is my first time here as well, and I'm so excited to be hearing all the stories already of the people who've presented. My name is Jessica. I am the founder of Travel. It's a survey. Travel Evolved, basically. Travel planning right now should be fun, but it's a total nightmare. It takes people so much time and energy to take a trip that most people, up to 40% of people book and then instantly cancel their trip. So there's got to be a better way. So Travel helps solve that problem. What we do is have people take a survey on the platform. They tell us everything they want to do on the trip, what they love, what they hate. And then after that, we instantly match them with the trip that they want. We've got in the stack a lot of amazing features. So if you want a traditional trip, it's great. But if you want to do something different, like volunteer, learn, travel, eco, do something a little bit different, like we support that as well. So it's a truly different experience when you're traveling with Travel. We are in our angel round right now. If anyone is interested in getting involved, we are bringing in $600,000 in convertible safe notes.
Great. Thank you, Jessica. Please meet her in the chat. Nice to have you here, by the way. Please come back again. Up next is William. You're on mute still.
Here we go.
There.
Hi, I'm Bill Whitmire. I'm here on behalf of a company that I'm chairman of called Prosier Inc. Prosier has licensed from UCLA a patented probiotic, Lactobacillus johnsoni 456. This is a unique strain of bacteria that has the following effects on the body. One, it colonizes it. That is to say, you can find samples of the bacteria in fecal samples 30 days after last consumed. The bacteria reduces inflammation within the body. It reduces mutagenicity. And we believe that it will, because of the reduction in the inflammation, will have an effect on reducing A1C and have benefits to people who are diabetic or pre-diabetic. We are currently raising $300,000 to fund the necessary clinical trials through a SAFE, while at the same time we're in process of negotiating a distribution agreement with the largest manufacturer of plant protein powders that go into what I refer to as the meathead market, the food supplements along there. We expect to complete that negotiations by the end of January. They forecast that they will be using approximately 2,000, they will be buying about 2,000 kilos a month. The profit margins on this aren't as good as the other white powder that you can use, but it's legal and highly profitable business. So we're looking for both potential investors as well as international distribution partners and other people who have means of converting this technology into food supplements such as protein bars, gummies, and other products. Thank you. I've put the information in the chat room.
Thank you, Bill. Please meet him in the chat. Up next is Katie.
Hi, everyone. I'm co-founder and COO of GoMetaRel. Right now, metaverse is a buzzword a lot of us hear, sometimes for bad headlines, sometimes for good ones. But the metaverse is currently made up of several different virtual worlds or just immersive technology that is all connected to the blockchain. But right now, one of the major problems is discoverability, because a lot of people don't understand that there is hundreds of metaverses, not just the big 4 or 5 that we hear about in the headlines. One of the problems that I'm solving with GoMetaRel is that discoverability. We are the Google of the metaverse, and we're built inside of a crypto wallet. So that way a user has everything they need to go throughout the metaverse and enjoy different experiences, make purchases throughout the metaverse. We are in our seed round right now and looking for investors. We have a lot of interest with soft commits, but we're looking for some lead investors as well. The keynotes for us is that we won most promising project at a couple of different metaverse summits, and we're gaining a lot of traction right now. And we think that this metaverse is going to hit off, but only with us behind them, connecting all of the metaverses together. So if you want to learn more, please connect with me. I put my information in the chat.
All right, well, kudos on the wins at those competitions, and meet Katie in the chat. Up next is Ashley.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
We can.
Hey guys, my name is Ash and I'm first time here. Thanks, Mark, for putting this together. So I'm a hustler and a networker. More than anything, I'm a VC investor as well. I actually studied venture capital and valuations at Schulich and Wharton. I spent the last 10 years starting 7 startup companies, exiting 2 of them. I attended, this is my 808th networking event in 30 cities, scouting deals for startups and VCs around the planet. I've actually worked on 30 deals and reviewed over 1,000 pitch decks and data rooms and invested over 30 million. But 4 years ago, I noticed a lot of unethical practices in venture capital that's leaving out founders from getting investments and also lowering deal returns for the investors. So we decided to take all the information and diligence we did over the last 6-7 years and launch Startup Fuel, a VC and AI-driven venture capital organization that builds SaaS tools to give investors deal memos, valuations, unbiased ethical valuations. And we're designing a patent with a PhD professor for submission in Q1 to help VC funds better assess deals. So we actually have a deal. Our biggest client is Techstars, and we want to be rolling out to all of their programs next year on a 1.5 million annual recurring revenue deal. We already have our Series A investor committed at 5 million for next round next summer. And I'm here because Etihad and Emirates Airlines wants to launch a contract with us to run their aviation accelerator, but we need to up our security of our platform. So we're raising about 500,000. We've already raised 200,000 to date. From one of them was the executive director of Morgan Stanley. And we've committed about 250,000 of that 500,000 raise. We're at 5K MRR, growing very fast. We have 200K of ARR in our pipeline. We have over 2,500 startups listed in 380 cities. If FTX was assessed with our platform, would have saved a lot for many investors. And there's about 85 billion in market for due diligence improvement. So come join us and help us set a global standard, what we call the gold standard to venture diligence globally. And come and chat with me afterwards. Thanks, guys.
It sounds really interesting, and congratulations on Techstars. I'm a huge fan of them, and that's a perfect partner for you. Up next is Eric. You're on mute, Eric. Would love
trying to get out of mute. Welcome. Well, I'm happy to be here tonight, and Mark, and thank you for hosting this event. For most people, we talk about having inventions and ideas, but I actually have the real thing sitting in front of me, and I can just show it. You've never seen a quick release adapter with crenulations or 2 annular grooves. All you have to do, put it in the first one, and you're in a fixed position just like any other thing. Pull the sleeve back and the handle rotates. This quick release adapter also has torque, which means that you can put it on a drill, or you can put it on a multi-tool, or you could put it on the Tango 360. And even here, anything that can be connected to it can be in fixed or free rotation and work with the power tool. Not only that, I have another patent. Anything from the power tool can go directly onto the damping handle. It receives strokes, it receives rotations and oscillations. My 3 patents control motion of every accessory between the 2 handles. We are about ready to launch. We're on their way. We're looking for about 500,000 to get the first production going. And barring any investment, we'll still be doing crowdfunding. So there you have it. You can find me on LinkedIn, Eric Davis, davistoolsystems.com. Thank you.
Great, Eric, and I like that you were able to demonstrate, made it really easy for us to all understand. If you want to reach out to Eric in the chat. Up next is Dheeraj, and I apologize if I didn't get your name correct.
Hey everyone, thank you Mark for introduction. You pronounced my name correct. Thank you. I'm coming from an edtech startup company, Dasher, and we've been backed up by the people who've been in the industry for 30 plus years, and currently we bootstrapped $1 million, and we have a $7 million of deals already in progress. And we have a publishing house along with this edtech startup company, and we are looking around like 3 to 4 million, for our expansion process. That's what we are trying to do, and we recently gave our pitch deck to PSN for their global vice president, and we keep on expanding, and eventually we branding our product throughout the globe. That's what we're trying to do. It's an education platform with all the things that students need. We initially focusing on schools, and then we're going to expand to colleges and universities and other learning centers.
All right, neat.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you for coming to pitch us. And I hope some people will be interested. In fact, two people down on the list here is an expert at education, a friend of mine, Sam, who's about to pitch, but we have David up next. Go ahead, David Siegel.
Hey, everybody. My name is David Siegel. I'm the founder of the Infinite Game of Life. Right now, coaching is growing exponentially, exceeding $14 billion per year. Coaches want clients who pay forever, but after a few months, many clients reach a point of diminishing returns for their coaching dollar. My new platform solves both problems. For clients, we give them a platform where they pay one fee every month, and they get 12 hours a month to spend on any business or personal expert on a Zoom call, phone call, however they want to talk. We'll have world-class specialists in many areas of business and personal coaching. For coaches, our goal is to provide steady income and relief from the need to market constantly. Coaches put half their hours into our scheduling system, take any calls that get scheduled. In return, we'll pay them a constant, regular $10K to $20K per month so that they don't have to worry about money problems. Our clients are business owners with $2 to $100 million in revenues. Our marketing strategy is to go after niches, hedge funds, SaaS, software, services, retail, etc. We'll work with several agencies I've found to find clients looking for coaches, get them into our funnel and convert them. If you're interested in being a coach, if you're here and you're a great coach, please contact me. It's a pre-revenue C Corp seeking $300,000 in a safe note with a cap at $3 million. We're onboarding coaches right now. You can see our growing list of coaches at infinitegameoflife.com.
Thanks, David. Appreciate the pitch. Everybody interested, meet David in the chat. Up next is a friend I haven't seen in a while, Sam, and I'm looking forward to hearing your pitch.
Nice to be back with you and connecting with you, Mark. And regards and to everyone who's joined us tonight. My name is Samuel Hashem, and I am the founder and CEO of an advanced battery technology company. And we are producing batteries that can enable your cell phone to last twice as long. We have validated technology in our battery that will enable an EV to go 50% further. And our immediate go-to markets would be in drones, providing drone batteries. And we'd be able to keep drones in the air 20 minutes longer than they currently are. Mark, you'd be happy to know that we are still working with Polaris Battery Lab. And over the years, we have built a world-renowned battery team out of Rice University, which is led by my son, Dr. Daniel Hashem, who is one of the Forbes 30 under 30 honorees in the year of 2014, when he invented our core battery material called NanoSponge. And NanoSponge can house active battery materials like lithium metal or lithium silicon, which have a higher energy density and will enable Eric's power tools over there to last way longer than what he's currently using in lithium ion battery technology. Mark, we are seeking $10 million in our Series A raise. Up to now, we have raised over $4.5 million. And it brought us to this point tonight where you can visit us at our website, omegapower.co. There's a website as well as an investment portal there that will give you all the information. We are providing SEC Regulation 506D subscription agreement with 70, 80-page disclosure documents. Everything is fully transparent. I only just began pitching to private equity and family offices over the last 3 weeks. So there is still an opportunity available to the smaller but accredited retail investors to be a part of this really, really exciting raise. We are also getting ready to apply, and we've been pre-qualified, Mark, to apply to the Department of Energy for $300 million for our own gigafactory down here in South Florida. So this is a very advanced startup that I'm pitching to you tonight. I appreciate everything that I've heard tonight, but I think you're going to be really interested in visiting us at omegapower.co, and I'll be happy to set up 30-minute follow-up presentations for anyone who wants to do a deeper dive into our technology, into our business and manufacturing plan, or into our licensing business model. There's a lot here to digest. And Mark, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to spend this time with you. And please send my regards to your creative wife, Norma. She is brilliant.
She is. You remember, she is brilliant.
I remember.
Anyways, thank you, Sam. And I wish you the best with our community. And if anybody's interested, there's a lot of neat things to look at here. I've actually traveled to Polaris, the company that is doing the testing of Sam's battery, at least 2 or 3 times, I think now, just to keep an eye on this. And this is really intriguing stuff. And something real quick, Sam, that you don't know is I'm now working, I've invested in a company called Devorto. We're building an aircraft that never has to land, and it does rely on solar power. And I would be interested, it's not quite a drone, it's like a combination of a helicopter meets drone, funded initially by NASA and the Air Force. And I would be very interested in learning about your batteries and introducing you to our technical team. You know me, I don't know the technical stuff, but I'm great at connecting people. So you and I will talk later. Meet Sam in the chat, everybody else. Up next is Chris.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right, great. My name is Chris Walker. I'm the CEO and founder of Hypar. And let's see if that's going to come into focus. If not, so it's hypar.farm if you want to have a look at that website. We recently received a patent for indoor cultivation. Indoor cultivation has a carbon footprint of about a data center. Our patent changes that. We use sun tubes, highly engineered sun tubes with LED lights and software to manage perfect lighting for plants. This saves about 80% of the electricity that plants need to grow indoors. So this is a pretty massive game changer in a very stale but rapidly expanding market. Recently, vertical growing has become very popular, but unfortunately the carbon footprint there and all the electricity that's needed there is not solved. HYPAR solves that problem. We also solve a whole other cascade of issues. That come into play when you use the sun indoors versus lighting. The other big problem that growers have is their heat load. So we reduce the HVAC and the dehumidification and all of the crop loss that comes with those two things. We plan on commercializing the technology through a series of net positive real estate structures, cultivation facilities. And we're seeking $10 million for a standard joint venture for our first launch. And that
sounds fascinating. I actually, to my assistants, reach out to Chris. I'd like to see more about that. It's really comes down to the cost, but if you can save that much on energy, really intriguing. Thank you, Chris. Meet Chris in the chat.
Thanks, Mark.
Up next
Appreciate
is
it.
Alex.
Hi everyone. How are you? Hi, Mark. Thank you very much. Welcome. I'm greetings from Sydney, Australia. And please be gentle with me because this is my first time. So we're developing a robotic glove. 14 million people a year suffer a stroke around the world. Around 3 million people in the States, United States alone, suffer a stroke. Of which, of those 14 million people, about 10 million of them suffer from limited hand function. So myself and my three business partners, who are both neurosurgeons, have developed a robotic glove that will actually help move their fingers autonomously whilst the patient is in hospital. The brain starts shutting down within 3 days of a patient having a stroke. And to keep the cerebral cortex going by moving their hands involuntarily will actually reduce their rehabilitation time by 30%. It'll get them out of hospital by 30% quicker. It will actually aid in having them improve life. So I guess what we're looking for $2 million, either as a safe note or as equity. This will help us build the prototype. We already have an alliance with the University of Buffalo, which is now the largest stroke rehabilitation center and research center in the world, and that's called the Jacobs Institute. We don't need to do FDA approval because we will be classed as a 1 or 2A medical device, so similar to a wheelchair. But we are going to go for FDA approval, and the University of Buffalo will do that for us with their case studies rather than clinical trials. I'll put all my information on there. We've already got a concept design. It'll be our monthly recurring revenue will come as a leasehold method. So hospitals will lease it from us, and we should be generating, if we get 0.2% of the market, around $2 million a month in revenue around the world. I'll put all my details there. Thank you, guys. Mark, well done to you, mate. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing you're doing for a lot of people.
Well, and thank you for sharing that, because strokes is a huge thing, and I'm really intrigued. I'd like to keep an eye on what you do as you advance forward. If you have any deck materials to send, I'd sure like to see it. We're going to move on, though. Up next is Dr. Allen.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity. It's my first time. My name is Alan Barnard. I'm CEO and co-founder of Goldratt Research Labs. I co-founded a company with Dr. Ellie Goldratt, who created Theory of Constraints and Critical Chain Project Management. We have developed 2 SaaS platforms that really solve 3 problems that are shared by project managers and supply chain managers around the world. First one is, imagine having to make reliable commitments around time, budget, availability, lead times, when you know for a fact that the software you're using doesn't fully consider all the real-life VUCA conditions: volatility, uncertainty, complexity, constraints, ambiguity of results. And yet you have to make reliable commitments. Or imagine you have to decide what rules are you going to use to manage your supply chain or projects when you don't have any practical way of comparing how these rules compare compare against each other. How does, for example, a min-max policy compare to a demand-driven policy? You have no idea on your data, but you have to pick which one to use. And lastly, you also frequently get unplanned events that happen. There's demand changes, supply changes, but you have no way of checking quickly what the full impact of those changes are on your system and what's the best way to respond. Now, imagine you have software that can do all of those three problems. And that's what we've done over the last 5 years. We've developed 2 digital twin platforms. We've been building digital twin simulation models for the past 2 decades, but typically they would take between 3 and 24 months to develop. So only the top companies could afford them. We found a way of building these digital twins directly from data that's already sitting in their ERP system like SAP, or their project management system like MS Project or Primavera. And now these digital twins are built from the data within 3 to 24 seconds rather than 3 to 24 months. We've tested the platforms already with very large companies. We've had on our supply chain digital twin, we've had Microsoft, Ralph Lauren, Nike, Cargill. Microsoft CTO gave us a public testimonial. They reduced their inventories by over $250 million and increased sales by a few $100 million after using and applying the insights that they got from our digital twin. And on our project portfolio digital twin, we've had clients like Amazon Robotics, Siemens Gas Turbines, Daiwa House. Amazon Robotics reported 100x return on their investment in our SaaS platform. So we've been self-funded so far. We could benefit greatly from about a $500,000 investment to help us go to market and to further improve our user interface, and open to any questions.
Great. That's really fascinating what you just shared with us. Anybody interested, please meet Alan in the chat. I'm going to move on quickly so we can have as many people talk tonight as possible. And those who are still here, I want to give any of you that do want to talk or speak for even a minute or two, really a minute, an opportunity here shortly. At the top of the hour, I'm going to sort of change the event into more of, you know, a quicker pace where it's a little bit less focused on a full 2-minute business pitch. Those of you who are still in the queue, you're welcome to stay in the queue, but just try and make it a, you know, sort of a little bit more about who you are and what you're doing, so that I can get other people who never ever get FaceTime on our community, give them at least a little FaceTime so we can get to know everybody, because there's so many smart people in the room, just like we met with Dr. Allen there. So up next is Alex.
All right. Good to be here. First time back in about a month. So yes, my name is Alex, and I'm the founder and CEO of Gravy. So the problem we're solving is that there's no easy way to share or post music on social media, right? You have to click a link from your music streaming service, leave the music streaming service, go to your social media network or WhatsApp or iMessenger. So we built our own fully licensed social music platform where you can share and consume music all without leaving the platform. Share your favorite commentary, build up a following based on the music that you listen to. We are raising a $3 million seed round on a safe. We are halfway committed. We have 100,000 people on our wait list, which is very exciting. And we have an iOS, an Android, and a web beta that is ready to launch in Q1 of next year. So thank you so much for the time, and you can reach me in the chat.
Wow, 100,000 people on your waiting list. It just jumps out as very impressive.
Thank you.
If anybody's interested, meet Alex in the chat. Thank you for making it short. Up next is Michael.
Hello, and thank you so much for this opportunity, Mark. The fact that you're bringing this to us is awesome. This is my first time on. I had no idea what the format was, and excuse my side camera. My name is Michael Berlin. I'm a professor of clinical ophthalmology at UCLA, where I've been there for 40 some years. I'm also the director of the Glaucoma Institute of Beverly Hills Research Foundation, based in Beverly Hills, adjacent to UCLA, and working at Cedars. And I've been tapped on the shoulder by Mark Kahn, the new dean of the UNLV Medical School, which is 4 years now, 4.5 years old. They need to start an ophthalmology department. They've asked me to help them. Working also with Bo Bernhardt at the UNLV Innovation Center. And my contribution is that I was on the team that developed what's called LASIK. And I ask you to imagine a life-changing procedure like LASIK for glaucoma. We invented it, we have modified it, and now we're automating it. iLight Innovations is the name of the company. And as of yesterday, I'm very proud to say we have 30 issued patents. I have 11 more pending. And this is a technology which is OCT-based, augmented reality, for ophthalmic microsurgery for both humans and robots. Because we're moving to the robots, my students don't necessarily want to learn what they need to learn. Our growth market is about 32% annualized. The current annual revenue is approximately 1.2 billion. There are 80 million people in the world with glaucoma, 4 million in the United States. Our industry leader, Glaukos, has a 237 million annual revenue and a current valuation of over 4 billion. We are the only minimally invasive glaucoma surgery which does not require implantation of a foreign body. We are laser-based, and we are also the only guided system which doesn't require two hands. It requires either a single hand and a good eye, pun intended, and or a machine. So that's where we're going, and our first tranche is looking at 12 million to move us forward with the amazing team we have of the people who started LASIK and started the beginnings of OCT. We're putting them together. We're taking people who know what they can do, and we're making them do magic. Thank you.
Michael, I have a lead for you. That was spectacular. I really wish you success with what you're doing. And appreciate you pitching us that amazing idea. We're going to move on, though.
Mark, sorry, this is Jeff Cohen. I have a very specific question for him.
Go ahead.
Please.
Okay, so I have congenital glaucoma in both eyes. I've had it since birth. The process that you're talking about not being minimally invasive, is it restricted to particular types of orbital sockets, closed chamber, open chamber, or different types of structure of the eye or condition of the eye? For example, you need a certain percentage of the optic nerve because it's doing a graft, or what is the level of this treatment?
May I take this conversation offline so it doesn't interfere with the minimum time that Mark has? And I would love to speak with you. By all means, email is listed. Contact me and let's continue the conversation. Glad to help.
We have to meet out directly. Also, connect with Jeffrey. He's a valuable member of the community, but I do appreciate you taking this offline. And thanks, Jeffrey, for being patient for the answer. Sure. We're going to move on next with Greg.
Thank you again, Mark.
Thanks, Michael.
All right, Mark, thank you for this. It's wonderful. My name is Greg Neimer. I am the co-founder and CEO of Sparks. My background includes over a decade of running consumer products companies for other people before I started my own, which I built and ran for another decade. My partner, Ben Garney, is an expert at AR, VR development. He's had multiple exits and done work for Dolby, Adobe, MGM, and Disney. Sparks is a feature-rich entertainment platform with a built-in production studio that lets influencers engage, grow, and monetize their followers by hosting live game shows where their followers compete and share in the fun of getting to know the host and each other while thousands watch, learn, and laugh. The app also encourages followers to meet each other with a feed that can be set based on location, age, gender, etc. And it has one-on-one games to help break the ice. We created Sparks because over 50% of everyone under the age of 38 would like to be an influencer. And yet influencers are experiencing a decline in revenue and engagement, largely due to a lack of new, interesting content. We launched a beta earlier this year with our first game, Truth or Dare. We brought on 2,000 users, and at the end of our testing, we inserted a survey, and we got an 88% response with a 9.3 NPS. Our influencers gave us a 9.8. We've raised $400,000 at this point, and we're now looking to raise $1 million on a safe. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg. Intriguing sounding. Everybody meet Greg in the chat. Up next is David.
All right. Thanks, Mark. I'm David Pechkovsky, founder of DapperCare. And in 2019, I was diagnosed with cluster headaches, and it's also called the suicide disease. It was very debilitating. And unfortunately, the soonest I could get in to see a specialist was 8 months out. And I just, couldn't believe it. And this is with a referral from my wife, who's in pediatric oncology at Stanford. That experience made me realize how broken and antiquated the healthcare system is today, and how cumbersome and expensive it is for the average person. Patients are losing patience in the healthcare industry, and they're tired of the system not putting them first. People struggle to getting the care they need when they need it when it comes to addressing sensitive health issues. Embarrassing doctor's visits are inconvenient and costly and inaccessible to the average American. So I wanted to develop a solution to this problem I experienced firsthand. So DabraCare connects consumers with licensed medical professionals and enables everyone to seek the health and wellness care that they deserve, no matter who they are or where they're located. So our goal is to be the first stop in people's journey to accessing treatments for hundreds of conditions, utilizing our multi-condition health and wellness platform, providing access to high quality, affordable care without the need for insurance. So our platform is broken out into a consumer brand for men's and women's, a distributed provider network in all 50 states, EMR, e-prescriptions, and a cloud pharmacy. We're currently raising $3.5 million to cover operations, development, and marketing costs. A little bit about me. I started this company in March of 2021. We're currently at 18 employees, and I've got a seasoned team. Everybody's got 20 plus years of experience in their respective industries. I'm a serial founder with 23 years of experience as a software developer and a digital marketer. I've been marketing in the health and wellness space for 20 years, and this is my 14th startup. I've bootstrapped about 3/4 of the companies and raised capital for the others. So we're scheduled a soft launch first week in January, and that's it. Thank
Yay
you.
for the soft launch idea. And David, just so you know, and you may not have seen a message I tried to send you through LinkedIn, but I have an idea for you on how
Oh,
to
I didn't see it.
get started. So I would like to have a one-on-one with you at some point. We
Awesome.
can
Thanks, Mark.
organize that. All right. Thanks, David. Up next is Peter.
Good evening or good morning, if you guys. And Mark, thank you so much for this opportunity, and welcome everyone here from South Africa, 3 o'clock in the morning. Great to see all of this. This is a great idea. I'm not a great speaker, but I'm going to give my absolute best. So a quick background about myself. I'm a technologist with over 20 years experience in technology solution development, with my main focus in electronic engineering, advanced computer science, and cryptography. Currently, I'm the CEO of Atronica, with the company that I had owned now for 20 years, a South African-based full-stack development company. That's developed many unique solutions and products and platforms for clients in the past decades, enabling them to dominate their market segments with our innovations. A few to name a few. We're looking at Bank of America. We specialized in cybersecurity and looking strongly into unique user authentication technologies and so forth. I believe it's time, and the time is ripe now to capitalize on our own products and our own creativities, especially now with the current financial climates, the international financial climates that drives the demand for one of our products, which is an essential solution for many of the current crypto and custodian challenges currently in the market. So what does that mean? We've developed out of my own paranoia, I've built a new crypto hardware solution, a cold storage, in 2019. And it's my own product that I use for my own portfolio management, and it's the best of the best there is. So just to quickly to give you a summary, everybody know what the hardware wallet is. You know how essential a hardware wallet is for storing your own crypto and ensuring that your assets are safe. Unfortunately, those are not prone or immune to fault tolerance. So our product is that all those things still needs to be protected. They are not fireproof. They're not waterproof. They still need to be put into a safe. So what we've done is, standing right next to me, we've built a physical safe, steel box, 2-layer safe with intelligence built into it, with the autonomous self-defense and protect mechanism with the central control status management system. So what does it mean is that as soon as you try to tamper with it, move it, and so forth, it encrypts data and moves it to other safes. So by the time you get in, it's gone. Really simple. We're currently speaking with Circle. I don't know if you guys, the owners of USDC, we've got a letter of intent with them. We've got a few other guys that want to commercialize this for their high net worth individuals. But I really want to make this product also for the Bitcoin community. And you can also, design, customize it for yourself. We do customization of it. We're already in production. And we're opening for pre-orders in January in 6 weeks. I'm trying to raise 100,000, 150,000 K for marketing.
Thank you for pitching, and especially being up at 3 a.m. to be with us. We're going to move on. You can meet others in the chat. Phyllis, you're up next.
Yes. Hi, I'm Phyllis. Can you hear me?
Yes.
And I have a twofold challenge. I have a small business that provides compliance and writing, but I'm also a publisher and have Second Wind Corporation. So I put my website link in the chat. Basically, I've written over 80 books. They're based on my PhD research since 2012 and my lived experience, which includes holding a secret clearance, working on classified satellite technology for Jet Propulsion Laboratory, Boeing Corporation, United Airlines, and I'm also a former U.S. Foreign Service officer, Middle East and East Africa desk. So I have offers on the table. My book selection was at the Frankfurt Book Festival, and they have over 300,000 guests. So I'm fielding offers now. Some are 7 figures. What I'm looking for is quite a bit. There's small fees associated with this, partnership opportunities. I'll keep it brief. I won't quote any numbers, but I have learned that I did meet the Olympics team for Paris 2024 and LA 2028. So for investors that want their money back quickly, I think those are 2 good milestones, that it's a good opportunity. Olympics is $1 billion revenue generator, and I feel that my organization and team is poised to share with you and take advantage of these opportunities. So I'll cut for now. Browse the website. Please browse my fundraising platform. And thank you very much. I'm a novice. I heard a lot of pitches when I fielded them for NASA and DOD. So now I'm on the other side. So I appreciate your kindness.
You did very well.
All right.
Trained well at NASA and DOD.
Yes.
Nice to have you at
May I have
Orlando.
a second, Michael Berlin here, to just tell Phyllis, go for it. I was a doc for the '84 Olympics in LA, and I can tell you it is an awesome project and great people to work with. Go for it.
Thank you. Thank you. I had a chance to use my French. And so, all engines powered forward. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
And thank you, Michael, for the comment. Up next is Pranjal. I apologize.
Thank you, Mark. Pranjal Datta here. I'm from Calgary. It's Western Canada. It's -2 degrees Celsius here, everything white. Anyway, so I have a very quick, I have an enterprise software testing platform, which is already built. We have bootstrapped so far, 700K invested, and we have all kinds of testing software capabilities, as well as robotic process automation kind of process automation capabilities. So we have enterprise clients, 3-4 enterprise clients, and annual revenue is currently 400K around, and we are the problem that we are trying to solve is the process workflows we have been built in our testing, which is not in any other testing software. So with that, organizations can see the clarity of processes between different departments. So you can build process workflows, you can convert to test cases, you can make it at a process workflow, and then from that one, we can build e-learning software and many more. We are raising around $2.5 million. So we have almost 25 clients, including NASA, Disney, as a prospects are very hot leads. They have seen demo and they are coming back. So I think we are in the right, we are having right go-to-market strategy. So we are raising funds at this moment. Any questions, please reach out. I'll put out my LinkedIn link.
There was some really great company names you dropped there. Impressive sounding. If anybody's interested, meet up in the chat. Up next is John. And if from this point forward, everybody can make their pitches very short. And I also want to encourage those to raise their hand digitally with the reaction button at this point. If you are a service provider, if you're here to find a startup that you could join and you want people to know your talents and what you're capable of doing, if you just want anybody in our community to know who you are, you know, go to the reaction button, find the raise hand, and just start to populate the list so that we can get as many people as possible to be seen tonight. I appreciate all of you. Up next is John.
Is that me?
That is you, John Shin. That's you.
Okay. Because I saw a few other
Too
names.
many Johns. I apologize. I heard that earlier. I'll have to be more specific in the future.
Okay. Well, I'm speaking from Seoul, Korea, and
Wow.
I'm a startup founder of a food as culture retail program. So we have elements from Starbucks. We have elements from Italy. We have elements from Costco. So I have been since 2015 high value food importer and distributor in Korea, mainly serving B2B channels at department stores and high-end restaurants. And then I discovered that there is a huge mismatch, an opportunity of mismatch between the demand in Korea and the suppliers. In other words, there are consumers in Korea who are very, very well-to-do, and they are looking for unique experiences, experiencing food as travel. So I want to combine travel and the food as a cultural experience and bring to Korea unique and monopoly products from all over the world, but mainly from Italy, France, Greece, and the United States. So for example, I want to import the ingredients that go into making buffalo milk, mozzarella, and burrata cheese. And I want to bring that over here in frozen form and make the mozzarella and burrata cheese in the store every day, fresh, not imported from Italy, not refrigerated, but made fresh every day. Another example, from Brooklyn, New York, I can import par-baked. Par-baked means half-cooked. So half-cooked pizzas from the renowned pizzeria from Brooklyn, New York, Roberta's. They're also in LA, by the way. So I want to do all of these things. I have myriad of unique products and brands from all over the world. So bring travel experience as food experience. So I want to combine these two and start a store in Seoul, Korea with a $1.8 million seed funding. I have so far secured $120,000, but I still need about 1.8 million more. So I'll stop at this. My information is in the chat dialogue. Also, I'm on LinkedIn. Market Moza is the name. Market Moza. The slides deck is also in the chat room. So thank you for the opportunity and look forward to seeing you again.
It's great having you from such a long distance, and it sounds like a delicious business model. I wish you the best. We're going to move on. Next up is Michael.
Hello, everybody. I am actually pitching two things today because I'm actually both on the service provider and the pitching side. So I am currently in the midst of early stages of forming a accelerator specifically for video game industry people. And one of my people is one of the people that's submitted a project is in Europe and wanted me to share their project with the community here today. So they have a portfolio of super strong domains. They actually have poker.xyz and youtube.com/poker. They found a huge problem in the poker industry that no company is currently trying to solve. They're designing a strategy to solve it. They have an incredible team, including influencers, to do it. Their plan is opening the market to a fresh new audience, Gen Z audience, by creating an inclusive and easy to play poker game that is completely online and no codes or anything, no physical codes or anything like that. And I'll put my LinkedIn in the chat.
Thank you, Michael. Up next is Dan.
Hi, everybody. I am founder and CEO of Digital Magnetics. We are developing new small wind turbine technology in the 500 watt to 10,000 watt range. It's going to turn the industry upside down. And people that are in the industry aren't going to know what happened when our stuff launches and hits the market. I am looking to build my network because I'm going to be doing a crowdfunding campaign right after the beginning of the year. So I'm asking people to go to digitalmagnetics.com and on Instagram, Digital Magnetics. After the new year, as part of my 90-day plan, I plan on having a 1,000 watt small wind turbine hooked to direct connect to a water well pump for agriculture and ranching. And I plan on having a 3,000 watt generator hooked up to a cabin out on a ranch. What sets our technology apart is it doesn't matter how fast the wind blows, doesn't matter how fast the turbine spins. The generator itself has a self-regulation component in it that has a stable output all the time. So while other small wind turbines have to slow down and do all kinds of crazy things to stay under control, ours can spin and maintain proper voltage. So please follow me on Instagram, look up my website, and I will turn this over to the rest of the folks that have awesome products and services that I've heard tonight.
Well, that was interesting, and I'd be curious to see more about it. Thank you for pitching, Dan. Up next is Mike.
Mark, thanks for opening up the opportunity for those of us who are typically listening to share a little bit. I appreciate it. My name is Mike Barrett. I am in Rhode Island in the United States. I'm here for two purposes. Initially, it's to hear about these ideas and opportunities for my, let's call it my group to consider. And that's my motivation for being here. My service that I provide as my own business is actually focused on developing your pitch for opportunities like this. So I'm simply here offering free 30-minute phone calls for anybody who's interested, and I'll put my information in the chat. Again, Mark, thank you very much. This has been an amazing group to become a part of.
Thank you, Mike. And I would just like to say that in general, most of our founders would benefit from getting some tips on how to pitch. And one of the things that I might do on one Wednesday is bring some experts in, and we might take the entire evening and only talk about how to pitch and even do some practice pitching. And that's not a negative on any of you who come to all of these events. I love all of you, and I enjoy learning and hearing from you. It's just that it really does make a difference how good you can pitch in today's world where Zoom is now a very important communication medium. We're going to move on next to Christina.
Second time here, everyone. Thank you, Mark, and congratulations for all of your pitches. Amazing startups, and I think I became an addict of this event. Service provider here. So most successful corporate CEOs and executives have coaches as secret weapons for their achievements. They are in the background, and many times you have no idea who they are or that they exist. Many times founders postpone this crucial asset of having an executive coach. I'm one of those secret weapon coaches of awesome, deserving founders and CEOs who want to win the unicorn journey and don't need to be sold about the importance and need of having an executive coach on their side. And so if you identify with what I just said, please connect with me and explore the synergy, no strings attached. Thank you.
Awesome. That was great and short. Up next is Jamie. You're on mute still.
Okay, I think I'm off mute.
Now you're good.
Oh, good. This is my first time, attending this function. I wanted to introduce myself. I've been an entrepreneur and businessman within the telecommunications space and the IoT space for about the last 25 years. I find myself in a situation now where my business partner's getting ready to retire and I don't want to quit. So I'm basically out looking for new opportunities as a consultant, an advisor, and as a service provider of CPaaS services and voice services for voice and SMS. Anything in the network cloud that needs to be connected or talk to each other. And that's basically what my two companies are all about. The first one is Network Intelligence. It's been a consultancy and a service provider for almost 30 years. And the other one is Intellicate, which is in the IoT space, delivering M2M gateways and beacons into the logistics markets.
Thank you. Thank you, Jamie. Hopefully you'll find somebody who will appreciate your skills and you can join their team. Up next is Frank.
Well, thanks very much. Also first time attendee. What I'd like to do is just offer my services for sales advisory. I had the benefit of being part of a startup where there was 0 clients when I was brought in. They did an MVP, a minimal viable product, and they tested it with 1 or 2 very small customers, but they weren't nobody on the platform. And then over the last 3.5 years, taking them to scale and market leadership. So if anyone has the need for whether it's fractional, full-time, advisory, coaching, whatever, where especially in the verticals of financial services, insurance, healthcare, or HR benefits, where I can bring not only the technology perspective and the disruption, but the business knowledge, those are really hot industries. So feel free to reach out to me and we'll have a collaborative discussion. And thank you for the invite today.
Thank you, Frank, and thanks for sharing. Up next is Adila. I'm not sure I got that right. I apologize.
Oh, you got it right. Thank you so much for having me, everybody. My name is Adila Haladay. I'm a cryptocurrency auditor specializing in risk and compliance management advisory over digital assets. I am also a former Big Four senior consultant with over 12 years experience in the fintech industry. What I'm doing is educating companies in the digital asset space. So we hear a lot of things about Web3 and crypto. This is an opportunity to help educate companies before they jump in. The firm that I'm opening as of Q1 is going to be called DNA Blockchain Legacy Brokerage. And basically, we are protecting legacy of everyone for their wallets and crypto if they choose to invest in it.
Thank you. Thanks for coming, and I hope somebody's interested in our community. Up next is Matthew.
Thank you, Mark, for inviting me to your event. My name is Matthew Philistine. I believe in the value of networking. My work is in business development and investment advising. I would also like to support the venture starters community any way I can. One of the skills I offer is digital marketing as well as securities registrations. Mark, I really enjoy your group and my contact information is in the chat. Once again, my name is Matthew Philistine. Thank you for inviting me this evening.
I'd be interested in a one-on-one conversation with you at some point. And thank you, Matthew. Really appreciate you. We have a little bit of background noise we need to get rid of. Hold on here. Okay, so up next, and thank you, Matthew. Up next is Daniel.
Hi, Mark. Hi, everyone. So I'd just like to introduce myself. It's my first time here as well. We talked on Sunday, Mark. He invited me to join the session today. I've been in the workforce for 26 years. I'm an entrepreneur. I own 2 ed tech companies. I'm an investor as well, mentor of startups. And for the last 5 years, I've specialized in corporate governance. Currently being the chair of boards in Brazil, where I live, in Portugal, the US, and in India. So I'm sharing my LinkedIn profile on the chat, and it will be a pleasure to connect with everyone. And once again, Mark, congratulations on the wonderful event tonight.
Thank you for joining, and appreciate you calling in from such long distance. We're sort of becoming global in a fun way. And thank you, Daniel. Next up is Michael.
Michael Kelly with Investment Science. Mark, thanks for having me here a second time. So it's not really about me, it's about everybody else around me here in this room. One aspect is I teach artificial intelligence. Second aspect is our consulting practice. Very simple. We stay on top of the latest trends of banking and technology. We're laser focused on more wealth management, but transforming it, meaning you have $100 to invest. We invest into 100 different things, including a startup with low correlated returns, up 38% the past year. Mark, I'm talking to some family offices to try to get them to show up to this event. I'd love to have a one-on-one with you just to demo the platform. It took us about 10 years to code, and anybody else who wants to connect, I'm more than happy to help you. I'm all about servant leadership. That's it.
I don't have very many slots left in December, but if there's any open, you can find my Calendly at the bottom of the landing page of venturestarters.com. It's actually way at the bottom.
Okay. I'll book something for you.
That's actually for everybody here. I just don't know how many slots are left for the month. But I always like meeting people in our community. Thank you, Michael. Up next is our friend and really sort of one of the founders. They've been here from the very beginning, and I've been sitting on investment panels with Jack all year long. So go ahead and take it away, Jack. And we can't hear a word for some reason. You don't look like you're on, you weren't on mute, but the microphone just wasn't picking your voice up. Now you're on mute. We may not be hearing the wonderful voice of Jack all that soon after all. Try again. Well, you're off mute, but I don't know about lack of microphone for some reason. And none of us are going to be able to read lips all that well. I know I can't. So Jack, I'm going to have to postpone you at the moment. We're going to move on to Ellen.
This is Mario. I'm going to quickly interrupt. Maybe I can help Jack. Just have him check his audio. And the audio, he probably has more than one audio selection in his computer. Just have him check that, click on it, and pick the correct one. That was it. Sorry.
No, thanks, Mario. I always like when you're active in our community. Very good. But while Jack is trying to sort out technology challenges, let's go to Ellen next.
Great. Hi, Ellen Sexton, and just what a fabulous event, Mark. Kudos to you. Amazing to hear all the pitches and to hear from so many people around the globe. Super cool. I jotted down a number of pitches that I'm really interested in. I have 25 years of experience in healthcare, airline manufacturing, and I'm here to help. So whether that's helping you with your strategic plan, your pitch, I also have a lot of contacts into private equity, and so would love to think about any of you that are looking for some investments, connecting you with them. So awesome job, Mark. This is a great forum, and I can't wait to participate in this and engage even more.
Thank you and welcome. I'm sure your expertise will be appreciated by many, and the more times you come, the better to link up with our community. Up next, while we're still waiting on Jack to get connected, is Blake. Blake has actually been a co-sponsor of multiple events. He's been helping us out immensely. I truly value Blake, and for those of you who've had a chance to get to know him, I'm sure you feel similarly. He's just a great asset. Great person to get to know. And go ahead, take it away, Blake.
Thank you so much, Mark. I just really wanted to take this time for people who don't know me to just briefly introduce myself. But first to mention, while Jack is getting set up, he's in charge of comm sciences. His network is gigantic. He has a ton of different investors across multiple verticals, and I strongly suggest you get in touch with him if you have anything relevant to medicine, consumer. He has access to the Gulf. So feel free to get in touch with him. The easiest way is via email. If he's not going to be able to speak, I'd like to just help him out this time because we've worked together for a little bit. So about myself, I work as a scout in addition to helping out at QuarkXR as head of BD. And I'll actually be pitching next time because QuarkXR is now crowdfunding or equity crowdfunding. I'll have a pitch ready. I planned to pitch earlier, but unfortunately I had a personal issue, so I wasn't able to make it this time. But at the next Venture Starters event, I'll be able to pitch fully. In terms of what I can do for everyone that's here, I have access to a bunch of investors up and down the line across different verticals myself, ranging from Techstars to Honda and Renault. So if you're interested in taking a look at my network, please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll put my LinkedIn in the chat again. And it's wonderful to be a part of these events.
Thank you, Blake. It's wonderful that you're a part of these events. Let me just say that. And many have told me how much they appreciate you lining them up with investors. Blake is a master networker, exactly who you guys need to know. Okay, by the way, Jack, I don't know if you even need to speak because Blake actually did your pitch better than you in some regards. So let's move on to Justin. Hello, Justin.
Hi, Mark. Thank you for this, and thank you for whoever suggested putting a bit of a library together for our community. I went through a couple of technology accelerators and have some materials I'll happily share with the group if that is of any benefit to folks. And thank you for those who've done some great pitches tonight. I'm a former healthcare trial lawyer turned health tech entrepreneur. And in one sentence, my company, Quality MD, matches LGBTQ patients with providers nationwide who've had culturally competent training to create safe spaces in which those patients can be their authentic selves and receive the care they deserve. And well, I just wanted to say some 3 fun facts about me, just because it's why not? So one I said on Saturday is I served as a history teacher at a naval boarding school in rural England. And so I served Her Majesty the Queen, and that was really cool. But that taught me the lesson of life, and that is to be a student of life. I learned more from my students than I ever could have taught them myself. Second fun fact, Liberace's my godfather. That is a true statement. I was born in Las Vegas, and people say, oh, you're gay because of Liberace, and I say, I wish. But I do have some of his cool stuff, including a dinner jacket that I only wear out to Christmas parties, but I never drink red wine when I wear it because I'm scared to death I'll ruin it. And the third fun fact, as a kid, I accidentally insulted Barbara Streisand when she came over to our house as a dinner guest. I said, Mommy, who's a lady with a big nose? But because I was 5 years old, I don't think she took any offense. Anyway, that's just a little more personal stuff about me. Thank you again, Mark, and thanks to everyone here.
That was funny. Okay, so is there anybody else that would like to, introduce themselves to our community? Now is your chance. Go ahead.
It's working now, Mark.
Yay, Jack, you're there.
It turned out to be more complex than we thought. I upgraded my software on my Mac to Ventura, and it's caused all kinds of problems. And one of the problems was it turned the mic off on Zoom. And the only way to get into it was to get into preferences and all this nonsense. Anyway, I just want to thank you for putting this event together. And I know at the beginning anyway, Luke was very much behind pulling all this together. So thanks to Luke as well. And we've all, Mark and I have sat on panels together, and we've worked with Startup Bright, which is a different idea. It's a kind of another kind of play on what we're doing here, a good place for anyone who's really serious to go and present. I personally am CEO of ComSciences, which has been around for 30 years as a management consulting firm working with Fortune 500 companies. We've had 3 startups under our belt, and now I'm working mostly with startup companies, helping raise investment, helping package you so that the investors understand what's going on, doing your decks and so on and so forth, and making the introductions globally. We've had offices in Dubai, in Paris, in London, Montreal, Toronto, Tokyo, LA. So we're pretty international in that respect. And I look forward to working with some of the people I met here tonight. Very, very interesting. Anyway, that's my 2 cents for what it's worth. And Mark, keep smiling.
I'm glad you got it in, and you were, yeah, glad you got reconnected. Is there anybody else who would like to present themselves, or are we almost done for the night? We're happy to have anybody else, go live for a brief moment. Otherwise, I will conclude with some finishing comments and send you all on your way until hopefully you happily return a week from now. Anybody else? Okay, so I'll take that as we're talked out as a community, at least for tonight. Couple of things. We had way over 100 people on average this entire night. I know we're down to almost 90 now because it's getting late in the event, but our community is truly amazing. We keep showing up every Wednesday, and magic can happen when you bring together this many people. The more you get to know the others in the community, the more comfortable they'll be with you, and the greater the chances are of being able to leverage those relationships into moving your business along. I'm a personal believer in networking. Knowing the right person could literally save your startup a year or longer of stress and de-stress, just trying to find the right pathway. One person who knows the right people with one phone call that can make magic happen. That's oftentimes the difference between a startup succeeding or eventually going out of business. So who you know is sometimes even more important than what you know, because if you know the right people and you can raise the right money, you can usually buy what you don't know in terms of talent. So a lot of startups are focused on the figuring out what they do know, but not necessarily adding the people to their team who have family and friends networks that are golden. So for those of you founders who have exhausted your family and friends networks, and you're pitching total strangers for a bunch of different things, which could not just include raising money, but it might include finding buyers for products that you've already developed. Maybe you should consider trying to network to find somebody who has a family and friends network that can be leveraged so you can get warm introductions and avoid the pitching total strangers. That's why I created Venture Starters. That's why I keep coming back. Originally when Luke and I got started, it was going to be a different thing. I was going to give lectures, webinars, people were going to listen. It was dreadful. All I heard was my voice the whole time talking, and I didn't enjoy it, even though we had amazing turnouts listening to me. But the reality is I like the networking model most. I'm open-minded to all of your suggestions on how to make the community better. I've never done a community before. Very first time. I just get it's a rush and a blast for me every Wednesday to be able to host so many smart people. I mean, when you consider the brain power in this room, oh my God, I can hardly believe that everybody shows up every Wednesday for this. So keep coming back if you'd like. And for those of you who are interested in a faster approach to finding that person who could join your team, who has the family and friends network, I do offer a different model, but it does cost money because we literally end up having to spend money on advertisements in order to quickly find who we need to basically join your team. There are very few people that do recruiting for startups because headhunters want to make 25 to 35% of a first-year annual salary, and startups have zero to offer in wages for the people that they might need. So finding those family and friend networks is not always the easiest. This platform is one pathway for getting that done. but there's other platforms, Startup Right, Go Global World, others that accelerator programs. But interestingly, a lot of those accelerator programs, when you're done with them, they send you to places like my events to pitch total strangers, or to me to pitch me as a total stranger. What I want to see happen is the best ideas in the world get surrounded by people with the right family and friends networks to avoid that pitching total stranger valley that's very, very challenging in today's environment. And that's why Venture Starters, I think, is thriving and succeeding and growing so fabulously from mostly word of mouth, because we are actually doing some neat stuff here. So please come back if you're game to be part of the community and help and contribute and cheerlead and showcase your beautiful ideas with us. I am trying to get more investors to attend, and over time, I believe that'll happen. And just as a final thought, again, if any of you have ever been involved in running a fund, I mean, a very sophisticated fund, I would like to talk to you. I'm interviewing a bunch of people to try and figure out how we can get a Venture Starters fund that can support some of the better founders that are in our group. I don't think we'll be able to invest in every single one of you, but I'm hoping we can build a fund that essentially can, you know, be active, very active here in our events, so that it makes sense for you to be coming here every week and pitching. And that's all I have for now. There's 2 more events for the rest of this year. Next week and the week after will be our holiday party. Somebody suggested there's ways in Zoom to create a very festive background, and we'll try and if you have silly hats, please wear them. And we're going to try and just sort of have a more fun event 2 weeks from today. That's the 21st. Sign up through venturestarters.com. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I so enjoy this and all of you, and appreciate you all. See you next time. Take care. Have a wonderful week.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. Bye.
Oh, I might mention you can get a copy of the chat if you need it.
Thanks,
There's
Mark.
a way of actually getting it. Can somebody mention how you do it? I think it's the 3
Yeah,
dots, right?
you go to the chat, lower left, right corner, 3 dots, click on save. You got it.
I'll just keep the room open for another moment, just for those of you who want to get a copy of the chat real quick. I will put this up on YouTube. We passed 80,000 views of all of our YouTube replays. Somebody tonight even said that they learned about us and came to us from watching our YouTube videos. I just love that. That's how we're spreading the word internationally. You're all great. Thank you again. Good night.
Thank you, Mark. You're awesome.
Thanks for inviting us.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.